Hello Quest, it's Jonathan. I'm here for your newsletter this week. We hope you're having a great summer week, enjoying some cooler weather here in St. Louis. Unless you're watching from somewhere else and it's really blazing hot, that's a bummer. Or if you're watching this sometime in the future and the weather's back hot again, that's a bummer too. But if you're enjoying this moment here and now, it's kind of nice here in St. Louis, which is great. So we are nearing the end of summer. We're getting ready for fall. Our eyes set towards the new school year, new stuff coming. And just wanted to take a few minutes today to talk about something in our heart that we need and some opportunities for this fall. So one of the kind of key questions we have as human beings is our identity. Who am I? And another key part just next to that in our heart is this need for belonging, to say, where do I fit? Who are my people? What's my tribe? Because God didn't design us to do this alone. We're not made to do life alone. We actually self-destruct when we're disconnected and isolated, and we just end up in dark places. As John Ortberg says, we usually sin alone, but we heal together. Now, you can sin in groups, that's for sure, but in general, we go to dark places when we're not connected to people, but relationally, when we're connected to others, it's a path of transformation for us in our lives. One of my favorite Bible verses that kind of lays that out is by Solomon in Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verses 9 to 12. And he is just making observations on life and what's wise and what's foolish and the good and the bad and trying to make sense of it all. And he says in Ecclesiastes 4, he says, two are better than one. There is a reward for their toil. They're going to be pulling together and there's going to be greater reward. Two are better than one. If one of you falls, the other will be able to lift him up. But woe to the one, danger to the one who falls, but no one can pick him up. You're in a tough spot if you're disconnected, you fall down and you don't have someone to be by your side to pick you back up, because we have those times in life. Woe to you if you're alone. That's just a sad place. And then he goes on and says, two are better than one. If two lie down together at night, they'll stay warm together. But if you're alone, you'll stay cold. Just a general observation. And then he goes on to say, if someone comes at you and it's just against you, they might prevail over you. But if you have two, if you got someone next to you fighting the battle with you, they might not overcome you. In fact, you'll be in a great spot, a better spot if someone comes at you and you have someone by your side. And then he goes on and he finishes and says, a cord of three, a rope with three strands tied together is even stronger. It's not going to burst apart. And it's just this great picture of the dangers of being alone, the beauty and the great reward and results that come from being connected to people, and even more. If you have more people in your corner, it's just so key. And we're so isolated in life. It's a huge epidemic in our world today. So we want to kind of create some spaces for you to get connected to people here at Quest. And that can happen on Sunday mornings around coffee and donuts. And we designed that, we want that. But there's only so much that can happen kind of around a worship service or just in passing. There's more to that. And so if you wanted to take steps further to get to know people, we want to encourage you. We have a lot of different groups you could join in. We have men's groups and women's groups and a young adult group, and we have a lot of options. But one of our places where you could plug in is in our BLTs, which stands for bacon, lettuce, and tomato, a great sandwich. And it also stands for belonging, learning, and transformation, which is our philosophy for these groups. There are small groups that vary a little bit in size, but they're a smaller community, a smaller group where you could get connected and where you could belong, where you can learn, where you can grow. And through that process of being with people, connecting with God and His Word, it brings transformation in our lives. So that's kind of the philosophy for these. So we call them BLTs. We have 6 of them, and they're great places for you to get connected. You can sign up online. You can sign up at the ministry table here at church. And we have, I'm just going to run through in general. We have the Carlin's group, which meets Sundays after church with Brian and Janet Carlin. Sunday afternoons, there's 2 groups that meet. My group, me and Krista lead a group, and the Campbells, Sean and Jenny Campbell lead a group. And we have childcare at ours if you wanted to come, but you got kids and you're trying to figure out that whole thing. Our groups that's what we've designed ours for. We have groups Sunday evening with the Loafmans, Monday nights with the Prudens, and Wednesday night. In the past few years, the Romans have been leading that group, but it has switched over, and now we have Mike and Gail Dollard leading that group, which is really, we're really excited to have them jumping in. They're great, and it's going to be a great group this fall. So a lot of options. If you're looking for a place, they meet twice a month through the school year, September to May, twice a month, and it's a great time of connecting with people, studying God and His Word, and each of the groups does a little bit different discussion, but in general, most of them are reflecting on something we've talked about in the services and our sermon series and diving deeper in that. So twice a month, sermon-based, but some of them have done book studies or other studies, so there's some variety. And then great places just to get to know, pray, have community. So those are our groups, and some of them meet at church, some meet in houses. Those details are on the website at the ministry table, and you can sign up. We'll talk more about them in the coming weeks because the fall is coming. Now, real quick also, this fall, well, really it's summer, as school is starting in just a few weeks, we have a new event coming up. We did it once a couple years ago, and it is back again. We have our Food Truck Friday event, and if you're at church, grab one of these flyers or share the link on the website or socials. Food Truck Friday is a great night to just invite some friends, have some we have blues-fired pizza, a home-style grill, and a dessert truck as well, where you can come. It's that Friday, that first week of school. So finish up school, and then you don't have to cook dinner. Just come up here to Quest, hang out, we'll have some lawn games, and we'll have food trucks, and it'll be a great night to connect with community, invite your friends, invite your neighbors, invite people you don't know, just go hand them these flyers, and it's a great night of fun. So Food Truck Friday, BLTs, we got a lot of good stuff, and more coming up we'll tell you about in the coming weeks for the fall. Quest, we love you. Come on Sunday. We're going to keep worshiping and connecting with our series on 10 Commandments, diving into some great conversations where God really challenges us in our hearts and what He wants to do in our lives and in us as a community. So, Quest, thanks for doing life together, being in relationship, connecting, and it's a pleasure to follow Jesus with you. Praying for you this week, and we'll see you Sunday.